Right, let's see here. Hey, I got audio now. Good. Okay, I don't know why you did that, but thank you, Windows 11. Heyo. We're going to see what's going on here. We're going to see if this different exhaust makes a difference or not. So I'm just getting everything fired up. I got to go open the door out back, but I wanted to start the stream and let people file in if they wanted to see. There we go. Got that up. That's Gustavo. What's up, man? All right. I'm going to open the back doors to the shop for the ventilation of the plenum. Is that door open? The dining room door open? It's not? Okay. What's that? It's not for me, is it? Okay. Okay. Man, tuning a car with a bigger throttle like that was intended on the factory ECU is not fun. Especially not when you go as big as I did on the vet. Oh. Hello, moto. That sounds like him. Scam. All right. Doors are open. I plug in these fans. Door down. Drove my Corvette today. Got that running a little while ago. Runs like shit. Made some changes to it. That helps. Still not good. I hate the factory ECUs on fucking Chevys, especially that Corvette, that era, the 02. Ugh, God, the ECU sucks. And then they put a 90 mil throttle body on it and just fucking blow my brains out. Okay. This car is not warm. But I still gotta fire all this cop shit. So I haven't done that yet, so let's do that. No, this one's got intercooler, exhaust. I think that's it. I think it's intercooler exhaust. Filter still have the intake on this?
It does not have the filter.
Okay.
So I wanted to leave it so.
Yeah, no. I just want to know for my own knowledge. Oh, forgot my cable. Hard to connect an export without a fucking USB cable. It's on the table. All right, logger is up. It didn't show up. How about now? Huh. Why is the logger not showing up? How about now? There it is. All right. And then AnyDesk. How'd that not show up? What's going on here? How about now? There we go. All right. Car's cold. I'm going to just drive it a little bit. Turn off traction control. Apparently that's kicking on. Now, if you were here yesterday, you will recall Lane saying that the axle angle was like 1 degree or something, that it wasn't bad at all. He is full of shit. This car is too low. I looked under there, and it looks like a fucking trainer aircraft with so much fucking dihedral. This thing would land itself. Like, it just, if this was an airplane, it couldn't roll because it's got so much dihedral on the wing. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so he was full of it. It definitely has a lot of axle angle. So I think that's why this car is so low power. I think the axles, because it's just too low. It's too freaking low. That's what I think is going on with it. But we'll find out. We'll see how much the exhaust makes a difference. Now this is the factory optional exhaust. So it's an STI option with the little like pentagon, hexagon looking tips on the mufflers. But it's the STI mid-pipe with no resonator in it, and then the little mufflers on the end, so with the weird tips. It doesn't fit very well in this car. The muffler tips are like, there's a big old gap between them and the bumper. It either needs shorter things or whatever. But this thing's a real exhaust on it, so it's not a 3-inch exhaust. So that's what we got to keep in mind, is that before we did this on the stock, it was an FA mid-pipe, like early 15 mid-pipe with the resonator in it, and it's really pinched down and restricted back in the back where the Y is too. Now we went to another factory mid-pipe, but it's an STI one. It's a little bit larger, doesn't have the resonator. It's a little bit better than the other one, but it's not a 3-inch exhaust. So we're gonna run this, see how it does, and then eventually when the exhaust shows up, because Chase did order one for this thing, an actual fucking exhaust for this car. He ordered an actual exhaust for it. When that shows up, then we will test it again, and hopefully the numbers go up, because this is pretty weak. I mean, it was like almost 30 horse lower than other VB FAs that I've done on the dyno, but they weren't as low as this car. This car's too freaking low, so the axle angle sucks. The alignment's not straight. This wheel is not straight, and they said they just had it aligned, but the wheel ain't straight. So I don't know if he's jumped a curb. I mean, I know he's jumped a curb because he's gone through like 3 lips. So I think there's just a handful of things wrong with this fucking car. But we're going to find out if this mid-pipe is making a difference or not. All right. Let's do this. Do a couple pulls first. Got to heat everything up, right? That ain't any different. Oh, look at that. Oh, interesting. Okay. So first pull, that is, that's not a result I expected, but that is definitely something that contributes. Look at the difference on the top end there. It actually freaking pulled to a red line on that instead of dipping so hard like it was yesterday. So that's a little bit of a unexpected. I need to get on the right screen, otherwise it doesn't work. Gotta be here. I say unexpected. That shouldn't be true. I expected more power, but I expected more power everywhere and not just on the top end right there. So that is interesting. Look at that. That's better looking. All right, that was one. That was one. Let's give it a second. Let's do it again. I'd like to give him a good 3. Good 3 rips. Also, let me. Oh, let me my data laptop or keyboard's not in here. I don't know where it is. I don't see it. Hello, I cannot find dyno keyboard. Where's the dyno keyboard? I don't see it. Yeah, that was the last car that was in. It's in the back seat. Oh, because you went for a ride. Right. Without an air filter. Oh, working with kids is really something sometimes. It's in the back seat. They told me they went for a ride in the car, even though we had no air filter in it. That's what I said. Working with kids. All right, let's try this again. Let's do another one. Get the exhaust hot, got the heater, let the header get heat in it. All right, oh, I'm still logging from the last one. I hit stop logging. Oh, I hit the wrong button. That's why. No. All right, do it again. Log. There it goes. Looks exactly the same. Okay, no knocker, anything going on, no fine knock learned, no feedback, nothing like that. Air fuel ratio is in the mid 11s, which means it's actually higher than that, right? Because that's based on a gasoline scale. So I'm seeing 11.5 to 11.7 through there. And that's it. So I'm gonna lean this bitch out. I'm gonna lean it out because it's direct injected. And a lot of direct injected cars on ethanol can run stoichiometric ratios. What's weird about ethanol, though, is that due to the lack of BTUs in there, sometimes adding a little extra helps, which is weird, right? Because you think there wouldn't be anything available, but ethanol does have some oxygen on board, right? It's got a little bit of oxygen on board, and sometimes it helps, but in a lot of cases, lean is still mean. Let's see. Yeah, that's the same shit, isn't it? It's the same old. These don't have fucking Sport Sharp and none of that. Man, I'm swearing a bunch of times. Sorry. I went home after my tuning yesterday. I don't know if you recall how hoarse my voice was. My throat was on fire for 2 days, yesterday and the day before. I went home, ate a bunch of food because I was starving, drank a hot drink, non-alcoholic, and went to bed. And I had 5 pints of water from the time I went home to the time I went to bed. And that was a mistake because I had to get up every hour to piss. and I peed 5 times in 5 hours, or 4 times in the next 4 or 5 hours while I was trying to sleep. But then I got some more sleep, and I woke up feeling quite a bit better. I was definitely hot and feverish last night. I was sweating my balls off and stuff. I feel a little warm right now still. Like I'm worried I'm overdoing it. You know, getting old, you can't overdo it, right? But that's how my sicknesses always go. I always fucking I feel bad one day. I lay in bed. I feel better the next. Then I overdo it, and then I'm wasted for a week. So this is the last time you'll see me for a week, probably. But yes, I was feeling pretty poor yesterday. Okay, well, I mean, we're not really getting the poop that we want out of this thing. It just ain't doing it. It just ain't doing it. I don't know what else to do. I thought about maybe jacking the back end up of this car, jacking it up to straighten those axles out and see how it does. Because it's so low. I think that'd be cool, actually. I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I could do that without pulling the tires off the rollers. I don't know. If I can do that, pull tires. It's interesting to think about that. If I get it without tires lifting too much where I lose traction, and I can straighten those angles out, I might get some good data. But let's lean this thing out. Fuck it. I'm gonna raise the rev limiter too. Let's raise the rev limiter and lean this thing out. Oops, I need to go to the ethanol tables, not the. Where's that? Primary open loop. Here it is. All right, this is. Wow, that's where they lean. Oh, it's open loop. I don't want that. I want the closed loop target. Where's that? There it is. Closed loop fueling. Okay. Let's lean this fucker out. It ain't doing it. It's not doing what I want. Less fuel, less fuel, less fuel. There you go. Just like that. And then hit this button here. Wow. Over here. I need more pluses. More pluses and minuses. Less fuel. Now we're talking. Less fuel, less fuel. Yes. 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 Alright. And then this bitch right here. Okay. So we'll do that. We're going to lean this sucker out some, and then we're going to flash it. I'm going to save it first. Disconnect from ECU, because that's what you got to do. Oh, fudge. I hit connect. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Remember, look in the rear seat. A little swollen right here. Not that you guys need to listen to me talk about my shit. But gallbladder and rib are feeling a lot better, let me tell you. I'm happy with that. Drove the Corvette today. I think you heard me say that potentially. I drove the Corvette. It's the first time it's been on the road in 3 years. It drives like shit. I didn't check the air pressure in the tires. It was 12. So I was driving down the road and I'm like, what is going on with this thing? I was like, that feels pretty squishy. So I stopped at a gas station to get some air, paid $2 to use the air, and in true gas station assholeness, the hose barely functioned. I was able to add about 10 pounds or so to each tire. It's blowing air out. The thing was broken and leaking and everything else. Then I got to the shop, and when I got to the shop, they were at like between 18 and 25. So I filled them up the rest of the way here at the shop and made some changes to the tune. I didn't put on the dyno or anything. I just made changes based on the fact that when I applied throttle, the car slowed down. So I was like, it must be running really rich for it to happen. Because I'd give it throttle and it just boo. Fell on its face. I'm waving to you assholes. I said hi. Oh, he's got his fucking window tinted on this thing, doesn't he? God damn it. Fucking kids. So I took it for another drive, and it makes more power. It makes more power. I hate this. Turn off your fucking Bluetooth. I hate tinted windshields. I know some people dig that shit. I hate tinted windshields. Yeah, not as much as I hate slipper clutches.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging up on people left and right. If he can't fucking turn his fucking Bluetooth in his car with my dyno, I can't help it. I'm just hanging up on people when I call. I'm trying to get this thing to stop. I'm trying to get it to stop to disconnect. Let me disconnect. 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 Cancel. There. Fucking idiots. I think I hung up on 5 different people. Those weren't all the same number either. Those were different numbers. All right. Let's do this. Let's try it again. Oh, I just fucked that one up. Fuck that up. Try it again. No. Oh, for the race ribbon runner. I'm on the race ribbon runner. I forgot. Didn't do a damn thing. Did not do a damn thing. Leaning it out made not a difference. How far did it go? Well, interesting. I told it to go a lot leaner than that. It didn't go very much leaner, but it went a little leaner. So I'm seeing here 11.6, 11.7, up to 12.0. So not a lot leaner. That was not an appreciable amount of leanness. Let's see. No knock though. No knock. No fine learn. No feedback. So we're still in the same boat there. And this thing just doesn't want my power. This car is just a turd. That's funny too because I did a video. 23 WRX is just another Subaru turd, and it was this car, and it was a turd. It was really bad. Then we started getting some of the cars in from customers, and I'm tuning them, and they've been really good. But not this one. This one is a turd. This one always has been a turd. I don't know if the owner just never changes the oil. I don't know if it's because it's so low and the axle angles suck. I don't know, because they lowered it like the day they got it. I don't know what it is, but this car sucks. This car sucks. That's all there is to it. It has never made the power that it should. Never has. And it definitely doesn't seem to be doing a very good job right now either. Yeah. Now, he said, wow, it's way faster. Well, hell yeah, it's way faster. I mean, it's almost 100 horsepower more than it was when it showed up yesterday. You know, I have no idea. They could be flat for all I know. Maybe. I told them to check them yesterday. But I can only do so much for these people. I only do so much. It's interesting though that the logger looks like it froze on the screen there. Is that not cycling? Oh yeah, that definitely is fucked up. It is angry. It's cycling now though, but it is mad. So, but anyways, yeah. So the difference between yesterday and today, changing the exhaust out, was really just the very top end. I mean, overall, the weather's different. I don't know how much I'm going to say that. It's whatever. But like, look at this. Yesterday, I had a lot more torque, and then it tanked. Today, I have this. It's not angry up here like it was yesterday. But this is the exact same tune until just now when I leaned it out some more. There's no difference on it. It is warmer outside, like I said. It is warmer outside. And the dyno looks like the temperature of the dyno is a little bit warmer, or a little. What's going on here? I'm trying to see. Yeah, it looks like the weather correction value is like 1% or 2% different. So I guess that could affect it a little bit. But still, not impressive. Not impressive. Actually, we can look at the temperature. Let's look at the temperature on here and see what it was. Weather, inlet temp. So last night, the inlet temp, oh shit, it was hot during that poll, 110. So that's going to make it dyno add, because it takes that as part of the temperature correction. So this might actually have more power. Let's see, let's check that out. So what's that, 19 to 14 and a half? That's almost 5%. Oh, so maybe it is more power. I don't know, I hate dynos. That's one thing I try and tell people, like, you don't know how dynos work. A lot of people will think that, oh, dynos all read the same. No, not at all. People think they all work the same. No, not at all. People think that, I've had so many people go, should I take things out of my car before I get dyno tuned? No, because weight doesn't matter either, right? What it boils down to is most people are ignorant as to how a dyno actually works. We're all ignorant to a lot of stuff. I know I am. But most people don't know how a dyno actually works. And unfortunately, things like these weather corrections that they apply don't work for turbo cars. They don't work for turbo cars. You can't put a weather correction on a turbo car because you don't know. I don't think if I turn it off, it'll even do anything. I don't think it'll change the old ones. Let's see. Will it make the old one read lower or different? No, it won't. So weather correction does not work on forced induction cars, especially turbo, because the weather correction has no idea how that air density affects the whole engine, affects the turbo, affects the drive pressure to spin the turbo. How much does the density change in the atmosphere affect the amount of drive pressure the turbocharger needs? It has no way of knowing that because it's going to affect different turbos differently. And so weather correction is crap. You can't use it on turbo cars. Just plain and simple, unfortunately. But this dyno has it, and if I don't use it, then this thing reads, hello, so freaking low that, you can't even use the damn dyno. How are you?
Huh?
How are you?
I've been better.
Yeah, Chase has his windshield tinted, so you can't see in.
Yeah, all I saw was, but it looked like you were going like this.
Yeah, like, on this dick. So, I'm streaming right now, talking about tuned in and dynos.
Oh, exciting.
Yes, and I don't know if you're on camera or not. Oh, it's your big day. It's your big day. You're famous now.
Yay.
Yay. All
Just
6
what I
people.
always wanted.
All 6 people.
Sick.
Yeah.
All right.
What's up with your car?
Huh?
What's up with your car?
Oh, I got check engine light.
For what?
0455. So evap.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Is your gas cap loose?
No.
Oh.
No, it's lane broke something.
Oh.
So.
Doing your walnut blast or injectors or something?
What?
Doing your injectors?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he thinks it might be, some of the lines were pretty crusty, so he thinks it might just be them.
Leaking? Yeah, it could be. How's that air hitting you?
Huh?
How's that air hitting you?
It's wild. Good thing I have my hair up today. Oh, I just wanted to come say hi.
All right. Hello.
Hello.
Have a great day.
You too.
Enjoy your car.
I won't.
All right. Where was I? See the windshield suck. Dynos, right. You can't weather correct a turbocharged car, and everyone does anyways. That's annoying. And what else? You see Mustang dynos, the WCF, that's weather correction factor on there. So you see the WCF on a Mustang. That's telling you how the dynos change it based on weather. This one's doing it on its own based on the weather correction on the factors. And I do it because if you don't, then as soon as it's all speed density, or it's all at sea level, and then cars up here don't make shit for power. Stock, these cars make like 200 wheel, or no, 195 wheel, and then no one's gonna believe that. Oh, your dyno's broken, because I've heard that before too. This dyno's broken. I should make 800 wheel on this car. Like, no, dude, that's not how it works. So yeah, right. I need that too. So unfortunately, I have to do it. And that's why you see me set the pressure and temperature and all of that. But it uses the temperature in front of the engine too, or where the temperature probe on the dyno is, which goes in the air box. So it uses that as well as part of it. So it's got pressure, humidity, temperature in the room, and temperature at the inlet of the turbo. And ideally, what they designed it for, inlet of the engine, NA engine. Because you can temperature correct an NA engine. That's easy because the density of the air is immediately, calculable. It's how much makes it into the intake manifold. That's a given. So temperature correcting an NA motor, no problem. It's accurate. You can do it. A turbocharged car, nope. You have no idea how close it is. You have no idea. And like this thing will pull a ton of power in the cold, and this dyno reads lower in the winter than it does in the summer, and it's a big difference in the winter. Like cars make way less power in the winter than they make in the summer here, according to the dyno, because they've temperature corrected it, and forced induction, yeah, it's not right. I have the weather station for my dyno tech. Picked up that when I got the latest software. Yep, I have it as well. It failed, but I have weather station in here. So, but yeah, it toasts now. When you plug it in, it goes. The fan is grinding on something, and it takes a few seconds before it draws too much current off the USB bus and crashes the computer. It's super cool. So yeah, I got it too. It's right here. This guy. But yeah, he's like, and then the computer blue screens in a couple seconds. So can't use that anymore. All right, well, what else should I do, guys? You tell me. What should I do to this car? I've tried adding boost. It didn't take any. It wouldn't make any more boost last night. I added timing until it started pulling timing. I changed the exhaust. I leaned it out some. What do you want me to do? I don't know what to do. Let's see. Where is my data logger? Let's pull this data log up. And then I'm going to bring that last log, and we'll look at the... oh, it's still logging. I didn't realize that. Did I do a poll on this log? Nope. For some reason, it's logging at idle. Don't remember hitting that button. Oh. I'm an idiot. That is not what the button is. What did they moved it? Used to be view. Data log here, right there. Okay. File. Open data log. So which one was it? Flex fuel chase. This one? Does this have VVT? Yes, it is a WRX. Yep, definitely. Swap for an EJ? Yeah, no. I like the 24. It's just this car. This car sucks. There's just something wrong with this one in particular. This one has always been a problem. So air fuels are mid to high 11s on 58% ethanol. Fuel temp is 69 degrees. 69, dude. But the airflow, it just ain't pushing airflow. It's at 200, and it's less than last night. Wow. Okay. Last night we got the 250 grams. Right now, 239 on that last log. Interesting. Interesting. Let's look at the wastegate position. That's where we're at. 4. Wait, what? That should be like 2.5. What is going on? Oh, wow. It's actually hitting all the target boost. This exhaust might be more restrictive. Interesting. Okay, let's add wastegate. Let's add boost target. I didn't realize it was having no problem hitting the boost targets. It wasn't hitting them last night. It was not happy about it last night. Wow, I didn't realize that. All right, let's look at these blending ratios real quick. Boost target blending ratio, 60%. We want this to be a 1. Like that. And then this guy like this. All right. What else we got? Target inflated. Who dis? Oh, Sammy. That was Sam. I think that's her name. I forget. I'm pretty sure it's Sammy. She's cute, but she's married, fellas. So don't you get any ideas? All right, I'm gonna lean this out and add some boost. All right, what is our requested torque? Requested torque 4th gear is 350. All right, and then raise that rev limiter too. Let's do that. Dude, what the fuck are you doing? I'm hitting up. There it goes. Here's my shit. All right, so limiter rev mode on. Okay, that's up. All right. Okay, so I added some rev to it. I leaned it out a smidge more. I added more boost. I added more timing. I don't think I can do anything else to this, right? I mean, at this point, I'm just trying to blow it up at this point, right? Let's do it. Let's just do it all. Fuck it. I swear those spammers, they all call at the same time. It's like one calls, another calls, another calls, another calls. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep denying it. Oh look, the dyno's freaking out again. Yeah, no shit. You had me do it earlier. There you go. Same shit. Thank you. Please keep ignition off while the vehicle reinitializes, or the reflash may not fully complete. You're ugly and your mama dresses you funny. Please turn the ignition key to the on position so the access port can begin the reset procedure. Reflash successful. Alright, let's see what happens. Interesting, it made the boost that it targeted, which it didn't do yesterday. And it did it at a much I said access key not detected. It's right fucking here. And it got the boost that it was trying to target yesterday. It did it at a much lower wastegate position, and it made less power and moved less air. I mean, it didn't have mufflers before. It just had that mid pipe with a resonator and then muffler deletes. Now it's got an unresonated mid pipe and mufflers. So these mufflers might be restrictive. Have to have unbolt the mufflers and do straight mid pipe. I think that's what we'll do next. We can get the mufflers off while it's sitting on the dyno. Literally nothing. It's like I'm not flashing it. It's like I'm not flashing it. It's like it's bottlenecked. That's all it's got. It's like, no, we're not doing anything else. No. I added boost, I pulled fuel, and I added timing. Nothing changed. Let's check the wastegate position real quick, see what that is compared to before. See if it was trying harder to hit boost. It was. Okay, wastegate position down in the twos again, like I said before. It got down in the twos on the top end. And the boost error became great again. So it was unable to hit those boost targets up top. It was unable to hit the boost targets over... what was the RPM at? Over 5,000, it couldn't hit targets. But we did move 248 grams per second of air again. So, 253. So we got the 253 this time. So we're back up to where we were last night for air, but the power's not up there. Actually, technically it might be again because you guys said that fucking correction. Oh, and I revved it out too. I forgot. I wasn't paying attention. I was waiting for the rev limiter, and I raised it. Let's pull that last one up, see what it looks like. ZG, choose, last one, load it, close it. All right, so let me expand this a little bit. All right, I ran it a little more. 322, okay. I don't know what to do next. I just don't know. I guess I could. Do that. And then I'm going to move the roller a smidge on the dyno. This is just trying to fake it at this point. Just trying to force a number to happen. Okay, and sorry. I closed it. It's weird, if you minimize the window, OBS stops picking it up, which doesn't make sense to me because it's like still an existing application. You think it would still catch the window. But if you minimize it to get out of your way, that's what happens. All right, so we'll do that, and then I'm going to just run it again with the dyno roller slightly in position, a little less dyno friction maybe. And it's going to make more power because of the dyno friction and shit. But I want to log it this time because I logged last one with the RPM. Yeah, that's just bogus shit. I can ignore those numbers. That's just bogus. That's me fucking with the dyno. But anyways, I want to see how the wastegate did up higher and how the MAF did up higher in the RPM range. Yeah, 253, 252, that's it. That's all she wants to do. And the wastegate was almost shut on that one. It was down to 1.7, so it basically was shut. That's it. That's all this car wants to do. But so do I have them unbolt the mufflers, or do I put my vet on the dyno? My vet needs a better exhaust because the MagnaFlow exhaust on it, I think that was 20 wheel horsepower. When I unbolted those mufflers last time I had on the dyno, I think I got 20 wheel out of those mufflers. And that was on the last cam and engine with less displacement and everything. So I bet with this one with more displacement and a bigger cam, it probably hurt me even worse. So I don't want to put on the dyno yet. I want to get that exhaust redone so I can relieve the back pressure in the system. I want to put the standalone in it. I have an M-Tron. I thought about putting in it. I have an Adaptronic. I thought about putting in it. I've got a couple ECUs at the house. I thought about putting in it because I don't like how the idle control works on that thing. When you're in cruise, the O2 sensors are so aggressive. They switch so hard that you feel it in the car. They switch too aggressively. I just hate it. And then the idle control doesn't kick on sometimes. You look at the idle switch, you off the throttle, push the clutch in, idle switch never activates. It just goes bloop and shuts off. You're like, Why didn't you try and control idle? What's wrong with you, stupid car? But it's that factory GM ECU, and I hate it so much. And that older O2s, like the first years that they started doing drive-by-wire. So you have to have that drive-by-wire module, the TAC module, as they call it, right? That extra bit. It's just a nightmare. I really hate them. So I have an Intron for it. I think I'll put in there. Put on some T-map fueling. And just have it run good all the time. That's what I think. All right, well, I was honking and no one's coming, so I guess I'm just going to go home. And luckily for me, the export software also crashed, so that's good. But yeah, this exhaust I think was more restrictive than the one they took off of it, probably because of the mufflers. But yeah, we made very little progress. Sweet. And I'm not getting paid for this. All right, I'm gonna set a timer. Hey,
Hello.
where are the guys at?
Lane's buying an engine from someone in the parking lot.
What's the engine?
Some VQ, I think, or something.
For what?
He found it on Facebook Marketplace.
What the hell does he want it for?
I asked him the same thing. He said he doesn't know yet, but it was just a good deal, so he had to buy it. So, yeah. You want me to grab Carson?
I want you to grab whoever can take the mufflers off this thing.
Okay, Carson.
He doesn't even like VQs. He bitches about how much they suck all the time. The VQ's a shit motor. I looked. That truck is blocking my exit. My Corvette is in the bay that truck is pulled into. Take the mufflers off.
Mufflers off?
Yep, on both them bitches. My help. Is that 17 and 14? It looks funny. Those are weird bolts. What are you doing?
Bought a VR6.
Oh, it's the VR6.
Yeah, 3.6 direct injection one.
Oh, okay.
The hot one.
Chase said VQ, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
You know, I mean, I would buy it to throw it off a bridge.
That's what I was saying. That's like I was like, he hates the VQ. It's a piece of shit. He bitch about the VQ all the time.
I hate those guys.
Yes. On the other hand, he jerks off in the shower to a VR6. So
I do.
It's the sounds.
it's
It's the noises. These things make such beautiful noises.
the 15 degree, right? It's a 15 degree V6.
These ones are 10 and a half.
Oh,
Oh, no,
they're
these,
pretty big displays.
no, these are 15.
Yeah.
The old ones were 10 and a half.
Hmm.
Because the 3.6, the bigger piston, they had to move it slightly. So
15's better anyways.
Yep.
So it's a giant coffee table of a head on there.
It is a coffee table head, but there's 20 11 mil head studs. There's 20.
I mean, that's almost enough.
Sounds like
There's
this.
20.
But they're only 11s though.
Yeah, but they're all here. They're not 10 and
Right.
10.
Yeah.
All of them are doing the work.
That's right. We'll bore them out anyways. Put 13s in it.
Yeah, probably.
And then
he's got a Mark IV on a ECU Master Black.
oh, okay.
So if we have a guy with one with a classic.
Oh god, I fucking hate the EMUs.
So.
Yeah. The black
Well, at least
is
it's a black.
yeah, the black is better. But it's one of those you get what you pay for kind of things with ECUs. But the classic is a pile of shit. Yeah.
He was saying it's only like a $300 upgrade.
Yeah.
It's like it's $900 versus $1,200.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't have CAN bus. You don't have few other things, but the classic is
Yeah, the classic sucks.
a little too entry level.
What I like about the EMU or those guys, that company, what do they call them? ECU Masters, that is. I like their CAN bus stuff. They have good CAN bus products that are usable in other stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like their ECU that much, but I like the other stuff. It's pretty cool. All right, so Carson's taking those mufflers off because we lost power.
Oh.
It's actually more restrictive than the other one. I think because of the mufflers, maybe. So, yeah, the airflow dropped. I had to raise the boost 2.5 pounds to get the same airflow as yesterday. So I went from 15.5 to 17.5, 18 psi to get the same airflow. But yeah, that car doesn't want to push more than 253. It's like, no, that is my limit, 253 grams per second. So
11's my limit on Schnitzler driven.
You did pick like the ugliest human.
that was what? Beer Fest? Is that what that is? Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad. Say what? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. 11's my limit. Did you get shorter?
No.
Oh.
She didn't know you were a cat person.
She knew I was a cat person.
No, I just assume that Dom doesn't have feelings. And he doesn't care about
How
things.
harsh that is.
That's rough.
That is really rough.
I cried live on stream.
She was telling me how she put her cat down, and I was like, Dom just put his
I put my cat down too. That was rough.
So
Yeah.
I said, and she goes, he probably didn't care. I was like, that's
That's far from true. I actually, my cat Dorothy, we had to put her down in June, and I have never cried that much about anything in my entire life. In my entire life, relatives, relationships, divorces, nothing. I cried more about my cat dying in June than anything in my entire life, and it was months before I could even talk about it
He
without
steps
bawling.
on the side.
I do. Those are tips.
Yeah.
Those are tips.
Months before I can even talk about it, about crying.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry.
Oh. What a moment. Yeah, no. Yeah, I had to do that last week, otherwise I would have came in on my day off.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
What are you putting this thing in?
Gertie, the one that
Don't know yet.
a few weeks ago, she had
I just
cancer,
thought I've been wanting to buy one
and
for
she
a while.
was
Like I said, I haven't
she was
seen
in bad
it
shape,
on there.
and it was time. And when we put her down, it was instant.
Oh, yeah.
Like Dorothy, her body like resisted a little bit. She was alive for a while when they were like, oh wow, she's still hanging on. Even though she hadn't eaten in 3 weeks, she was down to 4.5 pounds. She was stumbling when she walked. She was still like so happy-go-lucky, but she was just wasting away. And so we had to put her down, but she lasted a long time. But with Gertie, they poked her. She was just stopped. I was like, holy shit! Like she was ready.
Fluff
The
was
link
in
stuff
failure.
is good, but
That sucks. Yeah.
So
Gert-
it was like, as soon as they gave him the anesthesia, and I could tell that
We're also
That-
a dealer.
that did it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So.
Yeah, she was weak.
If you ever
She was
need
ready.
anything, just let me know.
So
Yeah, for sure, I'm
it was hard to be sad about it. I miss her. And even just yesterday, I told my wife, I was like, you know what I miss? She's like, what? I go, I miss getting visited when I'm pooping. You know, because she's like, oh, she come out and, you know, or Gertie would like climb inside my underwear sometimes.
Yeah.
She's just like, what are you doing? She's like looking at me. I'm like, this is my underwear. I had gas before I came in here. What's wrong with you? Yeah, no, but that's things like that I miss for sure.
Whole new motor a few years ago, I heard.
Yeah, the 24s. Those
Yeah.
things are fucking sick.
Are they really?
And now we have no cats. We're out. We're cat
I
free.
wonder about those cars because cars themselves are cheap. You buy one brand
Yeah.
new for mid-30s,
I still have 2
40K.
at least.
I was always wondering if
They've
they
been
were really
keeping
worth
me
the shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're super sick.
I can tell they mourned.
How much torque is that one making right now?
What?
The WRX.
Oh, at the wheels?
Yeah.
365 or something?
Yeah, 365 on all stock parts.
Yeah, so that's for a Subaru.
Well, and that's on this dyno.
That's on this.
That's
one.
like 4.5 on anybody else's dynos. That's crazy. Yeah.
I mean,
that's stupid.
arguably 1,000 on most people.
Right? Yeah, I've seen the internet. Oh, we get that.
Speaking of that, I was going to say, start reindexing the dyno.
Since everybody else does?
Well, no, you can just say that this is the internet numbers. Because like Clark Tuner or Clark Turner
He always does that. He's always been a cunt.
I know. But
Yeah.
So that's what I figured. It's like, we can't just say, hey, this guy's a liar. What we could start saying
Thank
is
you.
this is what the car actually made. For everyone that wants to compare internet numbers, here's what all your e-tuners are going to tell you it made.
Sure.
And, that way we can say, like...
I mean, we can virtual dyno all that shit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm
We
saying.
can do that too, I guess.
We should do that just so everyone can see, and then maybe we can start combating the internet liars. But I saw his post in the VB forums today where he was like, it was basically the same mods we have, and he was like, yeah, if it doesn't have this,
Yeah.
the tuner's doing something wrong.
Like every fucking dyno's different, you tool bag.
Yeah.
He's always been a tool bag though.
Yeah, so that's what I was like. But you can't just say he's a tool bag or a liar because then you're an asshole. But I'm like, maybe.
Yeah, I just want to say, show me the log. Show me that fucking grams per second and the air fuel correction.
Yeah,
Put
so
those two down there, and then we'll fucking get
you're
somewhere.
Smart, though. No one else can understand.
Yeah,
that.
fuck you.
You're like,
Yeah.
Well, Dom's trying to get grams. What a drug addict.
Yeah. Give me them grams.
No, I just decided.
I'm just trying to take pictures, Chase. That kind of gram. All right. Mufflers are off. I don't know if anybody's even here anymore. Hello, Lee Hilton. All right. Mufflers are removed. Oh, yes, it's louder. All right. Okay. Are those mufflers restrictive? So we were at 253 grams per second of air before. We will see how many grams per second of air we get now. And that's the biggest thing. I don't know if you heard me say that a second ago to those guys. Show me that math reading. Show me the grams per second. Because these tuners can fucking manipulate the dyno. They can say all they want. They make all the fucking bullshit claims they want. It doesn't matter. Because if you're near the knock limit at 253 grams, you're making the exact same fucking power as everybody else. Unless you're, 9-to-1 versus 12-to-1, then sure, that's going to make a difference. But these things are closed loop controlled. They're all going to be run at 11.5 to 12 in full ethanol, and 10.8 to 11.2 on pump gas. That's pretty much where the VB or the FA24 is always going to be somewhere in that range. Each engine's a smidge different, a little high, a little lower, but you're always in that range, right? It's going to be something like that. And then the timing's going to be as much as it'll take before it knocks, because these things are so sensitive to knock anyways, and they pull timing like crazy. So everyone's going to have almost the exact same fucking timing. So the only difference is, what's the grams per second? Yeah, your cam timing will affect your back pressure. But if you get the cam timing wrong, your mat flow is going to drop. Your mat flow drops, your power drops. Okay, so adjust cam timing until the airflow goes back up, right? Like that airflow number is going to tell you how much power that thing's really making. And so they can make all these fucking bullshit claims, but it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's just guys trying to weasel their way into your wallet. Give me in there, Yama. Give me some of that green, baby. Give me some of that money. Money. It's fucking stupid. Just provide a good service for your customers. That's all I want to do. I want to get you your car, get it running right, make the power it's going to make, have a tiny bit of safety margin so it doesn't go blow itself up. Hey, you've got a good car. It's a daily driver. You don't need a fucking moon tune on your daily driver. You don't need to have the knock system disabled and push everything to the fucking limit so rods start coming out the side. That's what race cars are for. Oops, I'm trying to log that thing and I'm not on the access port screen. So hitting F7 to log when you're not on the access port screen is not log. Let's do this. No mufflers. No mufflers. Oh, look at that. All right, let's check out this airflow, right? Because that's going to tell me the most. We've already seen that the dyno correction can change back and forth. A bunch of shit can go up and down, right? Like that stuff is so variable. 254. 254 grams per second. 254. It has gone nowhere. Oh, maybe a tiny bit more power. But that's probably the temperature correction and all that stuff like before. Yeah. But grams per second, it's the same. 254. I wonder if he's got a bad turbo. Like, why won't this thing move in the air? That's funny. That is funny. Let me bring up the last two, because that one that's on the screen there isn't the last two. That was one I brought up just because I wanted to show him before. So which one was it? Was it this one? Was it this one? These guys. These are the last two. That's with and without mufflers. $200,000 miles, 05 Legacy GT, auto transmission. You think it can handle 250 wheel horsepower? V52 turbo cat subpipe and catback exhaust. Oh, it's Dylan. Hey, Dylan. Is that your car? Did you sell your car? I don't know. I mean, that's what they make. Did I just tune your car? I think I just tuned an 05 GT with 200,000 miles on an auto with a V52 on it just a few days ago. And it did about 255, 270? It was like 255, 270, something like that. Yeah. Oh, last year. Yours was the last year one? Okay, I just did one the other day. I just did like the exact same car as yours. I think yours is white though, right? But you didn't have a VF before. 215 would be like the stock turbo. Unless your car had issues. A bunch of those legacies have issues with the crank sensor, actually. And I think that's what we figured out is that's the crank sensor. The legacy, I don't know what it is about them, but when the crank sensor starts to get funky, they start to pull timing. They pull timing, like you go to get a little bit of throttle and it pulls like 5 to 11 degrees every fucking time. There's a little bit of throttle. And we thought for a long time that maybe it was something to do with the fact that the Legacy has also the same chassis harness for the 2.5 or for the 4-cylinder or the 6-cylinder. That was one thing that we were looking at. And so I was looking at the wiring to see if there was wires in the harness that were open-ended somewhere that were feeding into the ECU and maybe causing noise or some other stuff. But then I had another one that was doing it, and I changed the crank sensor on it, and all those knot correction issues went away. And then I called another customer who I was having those issues with. I said, hey, man, put a new crank sensor in there. You put a crank sensor in there, all those issues went away. So if you were having those issues, Dylan, with the Legacy pull-in timing, put a crank sensor in it and give it a shot. That would help us out a bunch. But and then we can see if yours is doing the same thing. Because I know them, and I don't know why it is the Legacies more than any other platform. For some reason, I don't know, just it might be something in the wiring or what. But when the crank sensor starts to decay in those things, they read knock. It's the weirdest thing ever. I have not figured out why, but all I know is that now I figured out that it's the crank sensor. So put a new crank sensor in that bitch. And then if you're going to put a 52 on it, do it. Put a 52 on it. You'll love it. We'll add another 30, 40 wheel on it or something like that, and you'll have a good time. What the hell is that at my house? Oh, it's a huge bird. That was a big fucking bird sitting on my ring. I wonder if I can bring that up and show you. Oh, that's funny. It's just a magpie. It looked like a big bird. Oh, Sammy's back. What's up, girl?
My cold start's still fucked.
In what way? I need to see it. I mean, I haven't tuned it yet, right? I've never tuned your car, so it's all stock. Okay. But
the cold start is like really wonky.
I mean, the FAs always are a little wonky.
Nobody even lanes like that's not right.
Yeah.
It's still
you're
really,
videoed it for me.
I guess.
Did you buy an access port yet?
Like what?
Have you bought an access port yet?
No.
Just get an access port. I'll change the timing and the idle stuff, and then you'll fire it up. You're like, oh wow, look how quiet my car is.
Well, why would I buy an access port when I'm going to sell it?
Well, then who cares what the cold start is? We're going to sell it.
Really.
What are you going to get? What are you going to get?
I'm going to get the GR Corolla.
Oh, that's cute.
I told you.
Like 5 months ago, you said that.
I'm planning on it.
Okay, all right. Oh, it already has a 52? It was just pulling so much time and we couldn't make more than 215 out of it? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. But yeah, so typically, you know, the automatics knock a good 25 wheel off of what we're able to get out of them. And so usually a 52 on this dyno does around 275, and then when you put it with an auto, then it's like 250, somewhere in that range is typically where they go. But again, like you've seen already, the dyno reads different shit based on the temperature, the pressure, and all that other crap. So, but yeah, I mean, if you throw a crank sensor in it and you see that feedback goes away, then we can get it back on the dyno and try and add some more power again. So, or if you want to just bring it here, just call Chase up, make an appointment, have him put a crank sensor in it for you, and then test it. But so far, the crank sensor has been the fix for the ones that are having that weird phantom knock issue. Well, I don't know what else to do. I've done everything I can do. No matter what I do, I can't get it to exceed 253 grams per second of air. So something is limiting the car, whether it's the turbo, the header, the intake, charge pipe, the intercooler that's on here, the exhaust, the mid pipe, the cat. It's got an ETS cat on it. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it seems like I have a hard limit of 253. That thing will not push more air than that, no matter what. What else can we do? I can close the exhaust valve earlier, reduce the amount of retained exhaust gas in the cylinder. Intake is already retarded, but I could add a little bit of intake back into it, potentially, and raise the compression ratio with some cam timing. Might not work, might end up retaining too much exhaust. But the way we do that is we look at the AVCS tables, and we're going to go to our flex fuel because that's where we're at. Flex fuel B, we're on flex fuel B. We'll go to our intake TGV open. And the very end, it's already being retarded a bunch, but we'll add some back in. We'll say, you know what, we're going to put some timing into it. That's going to raise the compression. Now, what that means, though, is that we're going to increase the overlap. And if you increase the overlap when you have really high back pressure, then you retain more exhaust gas, and then you just lose power. Just what happens. So then with the exhaust, we'll take it and we will retard it some more. Or no, we'll advance it, which means less retard. So I'm going to do this. This is a big block tune here, okay? Can I do... Yeah, we'll do this. Okay. So now we've advanced the exhaust cam as much as it'll go at 4,800. And then we'll take the intake cam and do the same thing at 4,800. I'm going to advance it more. I'm going to say this is a different map because this isn't going to work very well. But this is just a crazy test to show you guys how much cam timing can affect. So I'm going to save that. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm removing as much overlap as I can, but also raising 20 might be aggressive. Whatever, we'll see. I'll do it anyways. I move the exhaust cam so that there's as little exhaust cam valve opening and top dead center as possible. Okay, so let me flash this bitch. All right, flash map. Yes. All right. I'm currently having rough idling and bogging coming off a stop. I think I'm going to do a fuel injector. Tuna said it needs catalyst up pipe to make more. Oh, you got the catted up pipe. Yeah, you definitely need that. Yeah, those up pipes get the cat and those up pipes from that year break loose and start to clog the up pipe. So that could be that. And I think I also told you that your injectors were, because you have the yellow side feeds, the latency on them was growing, and 200K off of the factory injector is more than those side feeds are made to do. They deteriorate and they start to respond slowly. So the latency on those injectors goes up, and that means they lean out at idle. So you should get a set of injectors. Just get brand new from the factory, from Subaru. Injectors for that thing, not from Amazon, none of that shit. Get them from Subaru. A set of Subaru injectors, and get an STI, factory STI up pipe that doesn't have the cat in it. Nice factory fitment, does good, has a flex in it, works nice. Get a factory STI up pipe in there, get rid of that up pipe cat, and then we can watch that horsepower go up 40 horse, 30 something horse probably. So, and the cam sensor or crank sensor. So you can do it here, you can do it at home, do whatever you want. But yeah, as long as your engine's still good. 200K on an EJ255, that's a lot. Those 255s are okay engines, but the rings on them are not good. The oil control rings gum up on them really bad. They used a really, really small oil control ring, like a 2.5 mil oil control ring, and they gum up with mileage. And eventually it starts burning a little bit of oil. Then that gets past the piston, increases your carbon deposits in the piston. Then it starts getting knocked. Then a chunk of carbon breaks off and sticks in the exhaust valve. Then you burn the exhaust valve. Or with an engine that old, your valve lash reduces on the exhaust valves a bunch, which happens with time. The valve lash gets smaller and smaller and smaller until one day it gets hot when you're cruising on the highway, or you go to do a pull. The valve expands with heat. Then the valve doesn't shut. The lash has gone down too much. It expands too much, holds the valve up, burns the fucking exhaust valve. So, a 200,000 mile EJ 255. It's almost time to replace it anyways. And it isn't like I said, it isn't a horsepower thing. It's like it's going to break a rod or anything. It's just a wear thing. The lash gets low, the rings get clogged, all that stuff happens. That's just high mileage on a turbo motor. Especially if you get it from an old lady who never changed her oil on a turbo car. That's the worst. Legacies, for some reason, were the ones that always get that. Any college here, any way for me to get used up pipe from tier 1 for cheaper? Oh, that's nice. I mean, call them and ask they got to use one. I don't know the answer to that. Probably. All right, so I made big changes on the cam timing. And as such, as I made those big changes, I changed the map to a different name because I don't want to save it. I don't want to save it because it's probably not going to be good. We'll see. Maybe the compression increase will help. I doubt it, but it could. It very well could. Check the log and see if those changes actually went in. No, they didn't even go in. What the hell? I flashed changes and it didn't do it. I'll look at the log here and nothing is different. What the hell? 5,000, so at 4,800, I advanced the intake can to be 20 degrees. That didn't happen. And I retarded the exhaust cam, and that didn't happen. So the changes I put in did not have any effect at all. What the fudge is going on? I'm in Group B. That's Group B, and that's the flex fuel group. I definitely changed those. Let's check that load up top. I might have not put it at a high enough load at the very high RPM. What is my load on the top end there? Load on the top end is 2.3, which should be enough. Yeah. 2.3. I put them in the 2. Oh, is that big jump? Okay, do one more row. One more row. Do that. Take this guy into it. I did on the exhaust, no problem. Okay. I'm gonna go to my blending ratios and take my AVCS blending ratio and change that to, because Cobb's got that set on a linear path, which doesn't make any sense for that because it doesn't actually matter. Do this, go like this, hit that, save that as the AVCS, and try again. Disconnect that, turn that off, hit that button, turn that on, hit OK. All right, what do we got? Just reviewing recent VB I did and saw 262. Nice. ETS intake, turboback exhaust and front mount. Okay. Oh, all the way up at 61, 100 too. Okay, nice. Yeah, that'd be nice. I'd go for an extra 10 grams on this thing right now. It ain't doing it. But it's not aftermarket. It's stock intake, basically, with the filter taken out. And top mount and a factory mid pipe. So if the intake or the exhaust made another 10 grams, that's a good 12 to 15 horsepower. That's some of it. That's some of what's missing off this thing. Nice. Like I said, and to the guys that have been here, let's see those grams per second. That's where it's really at. That's what's really telling you how much power the engine can possibly make. There's no magic sauce. You get air into the engine, you have your air-fuel ratio correct, and you light it off with timing. It's not magic. The real skill in tuning isn't even power. Power is the easiest part of tuning. The real skill in tuning is getting the cars to run really well, start good, drive smooth, get good fuel economy, while at the same time have lots of power, and then last in power. That's the hard part of tuning. That's where the skill comes in. The power part is the most, what I want to say, out of all of it, it's the most static. Even though it's very dynamic, you pass through the RPM range, but the load is the same, right? You're sweeping through the same load cells. That's the most static and easiest. I mean, you use the least amount of the tables for that. That's like this column, every time, right? And it's one column out of 15. All this other stuff is out there. The power is just this one section, like big deal. But a lot of these tuners are out there going like, oh, you're going to make more power if I tune it. Oh, it's, that guy, he just can't hit those numbers because he doesn't know what he's doing. Dude, there's nothing to making power. Make sure the air-fuel ratio is correct. Close to the knock limit on timing. And then get as much air in the engine as you can. That's it. That's really it. It's all about the air. That's why the nitrous is a thing. What's nitrous? Just concentrated oxygen. More oxygen than in the atmosphere. Why? Because we need oxygen to make power. That's why turbos exist. We need to put air into the engine. Getting air into the engine is everything. All the other shit is just, it's not magic. And I connect to the logger again. Oh, Jason made me a meme as he was saying. Let me read that real quick. Solid idle cruise, drivability of trademarks of a good tuner. Why not when it's easy? Should find. It's fucking absolutely true, man. Absolutely true. And this is making my point for me. I have just made a ton of changes. And the horsepower is exactly the same. It's the same. I made a ton of changes. I did timing, I did cam timing, I did fuel ratio, I did boost target, and the power is exactly the same. Because the airflow is exactly the fucking same. Like, this is proving it. Like, those cam changes I just made just now are not correct. I made cam timing changes that are bad choices on purpose. And look at the difference. At the very end there, it got angry. The very, very top end. It didn't get angry until 6,200 RPM. That's it. That's it. This is making power with the air that's in there is the easy part. Because obviously it's the exact same. No matter what changes I've made, it's all about getting the air in the engine. 250. No, I didn't hit 250. It actually fell off because that cam timing change I told you wasn't good. It increased the overlap a little too much, and so I pulled less air in the engine by increasing the overlap. I hit 245. So I lost 6 grams of air with a bad cam timing change, which I knew was going to be a bad change. And I lost a teensy-weensy bit of power up top until it started a little misfire because it was retaining too much exhaust gas. Look at that. That's how much of a difference it made. Jack. Because this is the easiest part. Because an engine makes what an engine makes for the most part. I've said it so many times to customers. Well, and someone even I want 450 wheel horsepower with my tune. Like, yeah, that's not how this works. The engines make what they make, man. Like, the trick is getting the air in there. If we can get the air in there and light it off, then that's where the power is. But I mean, you're seeing here, it doesn't make much of a difference. All right, I'm gonna go back to where the changes should be. I'm gonna take this guy, bring the timing back like I should. Maybe I should go extreme other. Let's do that. Let's go extreme other direction. Extreme other direction. We're gonna pull every ounce of overlap this thing has ever had out of it. Why is that not working? There we go. Okay, there's no chance of overlap now. I just shifted the intake cam just now 30 degrees from the last pull. So a 30-degree shift. I'm going to move the exhaust cam 5 degrees. So I move the intake cam 30 degrees, exhaust cam 5 degrees. And then we're doing the pull. And what you're going to see is the power change a little bit. A little bit. Change a little bit. But you can look at that and be like, oh, it only moved 5 horse. Okay, so is that 5 horse really important? Is it hard or easy to change the power output on the full? I don't know. I'm beating a dead horse here. It's just more evidence that, like, it's just going to do what it's going to do. '06 ST, I built the engine bigger, turbo flex fuel setup, 420 horsepower, 50 torque. What air fuel separator? What air oil separator would you recommend? Is difference in your AOS? Is difference in NAOS, or are they pretty much all the same in your opinion? It is my opinion that none of them are very good. It is my opinion that AOSs are not needed. It is my opinion that the factory AOS is perfectly fine. That's my opinion. The reason for that is a couple reasons. One, an AOS that recircs into the engine pulls post-combustion gases in anyways. If you pull in post-combustion gases, you are diluting the intake charge. You make less power. So at any recirculating AOS, you make less power because you're pulling in exhaust gas. Okay, so let's vent it to atmosphere. Okay, now I vent to atmosphere. Now I make less power because I have more crankcase pressure than I had before, and I have more windage losses and friction in the crankcase and all of that. I make more power because I'm not recirculating the old gases, but I lose power because I have way more friction. The pistons, when they move down, are now compressing air again. Because if you ever plotted piston position and velocity over crankshaft position, the goes up and the goes down is not the same shape. And what that means is the pressure in the crankcase goes up and down and up and down. This compression, the piston squeezes it down, and then compression, it goes down and it goes up. So the pressure in the crankcase is not steady at all because the piston speed is not linear. So I don't see a reason to even have one, to be honest with you. Yeah. You're still diluting your air charge. Or your vent atmosphere is still pressurizing the crankcase or higher than it was. You're not getting a vacuum on the crankcase. Honestly, point. If your engine's built tight enough so you don't have a lot of blow-by, you definitely don't need one. But now if your engine's built too loose and you got a ton of blow-by, well, then you just need some to remove some entrained oil. Then fine, you can use one. But none of them work very good. I mean, yeah, none work good. I designed one that I thought is going to work really well, but I just never produced it. because it's expensive, and I don't know. I just not a big AOS believer. Now, again, if you have a situation where you have so much blow-by that you're overwhelming the factory AOS and you're pulling raw oil out the top and in the turbo inlet, then sure, then something, you need something. But you don't need an AOS because you need an AOS. You need a surge volume to capture the excess of oil that's popping up into your thing. In that case, almost anything will work. But yeah, I'm not a big AOS guy. I'm sure people will have arguments against it. I absolutely do that, and I don't have I won't spend a lot of time arguing about it because it just isn't that high up on my priority list. So yeah, that's what I think. All right, 30-degree shift in cam timing here. Okay, I'm guessing 5 horsepower change, but the way some tuners talk, this stuff is millimeters. You got to be down to the degree to get the most power. But I'm going to do a 30-degree shift, and we're going to see a little bit. No 20 horse. If it is 20 horse, holy shit. That'd be crazy. But I really doubt it. Let's see if this car makes me a liar. Look at this log file real quick. I haven't looked at the dynograph yet. Make sure that the timing happened. Yes, it did. Intake went 30 degrees the other direction, and exhaust went 5 degrees. Okay? So the timing changes happened. Let's look at this dynograph. What? It's almost exactly the same? Oh, no! Almost exactly the same. 30-degree change in cam timing on the intake. 5 on the exhaust. Power's almost the same. Within 3? I mean, those lines are all on top of each other. So, last poll, before this one I just did, the cam timing, I locked the intake cam at 20 degrees through the duration of the poll. 20 degrees. Now, in every engine in EJ history, for sure, you got to have that sucker down at 0 shortly after peak boost or you lose a lot of power. But the FAs just aren't like that. This one, I locked at 20 degrees through the duration of the poll. All the way to red line. And it only got mad over 62. 63, somewhere in there. That one could have been mad because of the exhaust. I took the exhaust one all the way to -5, which is way this way. It means I'm doing a lot of blowdown. I have reduced my expansion coupling. But increasing the intake raised the compression ratio. Very little difference. Now I went 30 degrees the other direction, and it made 3 horsepower difference. 3. Huh. So, yeah, I think that you can see that the way to make power is with airflow. All this other crap is mostly fluff, right? Like, what else can I do? That was -10 on the cam timing there. From +20 to -10 is what I did there. That cam is maxed out. Oh no, that's not true. That cam will go to -30, I think, actually. -20, -30. But yeah. So, anyways, just wanted you guys to see that there isn't some magic sauce to it. And a lot of these shit talk internet tuners that they just want, like I said, they want to get into your wallet. That's all they want. If this guy can't get you 370 wheel horsepower, then he's doing you a disservice. Like, dude, that's your fucking dyno. show me the airflow. Just like show me the Carfax. Show me the airflow. Give me them grams per second. Let's see that. Let's see what number you're pulling out of that. Because I just proved that you can do big changes, and the power, that ain't any different. So, yeah. Show me the airflow. All right. Let me put this back to 5 here. Let's save that. And save that. So that stuff's gone away. And I am going to do something. I don't know. People say they make 450 wheel on ID 1050s. What's up, Mark? 450 wheel on 10. Yeah, you can do that. If it's pump gas. On our dyno, 4 1050s on full ethanol, so 85%. We max them out right around 405, I think. I'm trying to remember what it was. 405, 420? Maybe it's 420. It's right around there on this dyno, the max. You're at 100% injected duty cycle. But, I mean, this dyno at 420 is like 500 and change on a dyno jet, so, you know. Show me the airflow. Show me the airflow every time. That's what I got to say. Because the rest of it's just dyno trickery. That's the only magic. The only magic is punch the numbers in the dyno. And a lot of guys have a Mustang dyno. I think it's 4 mouse clicks. I can add 30% to a Mustang dyno with 4 mouse clicks and permanently change the calibration of the dyno because it's not locked. It's unlocked on the dyno on a Mustang. Dyno jet's the only one you can't change the calibration of. I mean, it's already moon level on the dyno jet. It's already super high because it's a dyno jet. All you can do is affect the way it applies its correction, you know, if you want to try and lie to it. But they already so freaking high, there's no point in doing it. But, yeah. So, anyways, I think I'm starting to get sick again. So I'm going to go. I think we've seen that, one, the exhaust didn't do jack. The cam timing didn't do jack. Boost didn't do jack. Ignition didn't do jack. Nothing helped. So this car is hard capped at 250-ish. And that's all it's going to do until we get more airflow mods on it. But that's what you're looking at. 250 grams per second. And that's the power it's making. Look at that. 327, 334, 329, 328, 331 with ridiculous changes. What's up?
Those are worse?
Yeah. It's all worse.
It's all worse.
It's all worse.
All of it's worse.
It's all worse.
Got
It's just the car. No, it's limit 253. It's all we're getting. The airflow it has not gone up at all. And
What would be wrong with the intake?
Yeah, intake, exhaust, it's a mid pipe, I don't know, something. But it's all, I mean, it's the same. And in fact, these dyno runs I was doing during this while I was live streaming, I was making huge changes. I changed cam timing 30 degrees from those last 2 poles. 30 fucking degrees. It was 3 horsepower.
Yeah, so it's literally straight up limited.
It's just limited airflow. Yeah. I've added timing, pole timing. I leaned it out, half an AFR point. I added 2 degrees. I did it. It's the same.
You should put the old intercooler back on.
The factory one? Yeah, I don't like the aftermarket ones.
I don't like this one anyway. It was just for so people went, wow!
Right. Yeah.
But should swap that.
Well, what you should do is put the air filter back on.
Well, I'll put the intercooler on the dyno.
Oh, no, I'm going home.
Not for today.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I'm going home. I'm done. I'm getting hoarse again. I'm getting warm again. I'm going home.
Huh?
So I'm getting hoarse again. I'm getting warm again. I'm going home. Oh, that's good. It's a little better. Is that thick enough?
Huh?
Is that thick enough?
Yep. Right. Added fillets back in so I can pour to it.
Nice.
But it'll sit like that. So it should go.
Well, I hope we get good water coverage. We'll find out. I hope we get good water coverage. We'll find out.
I also do. We'll see.
Yeah.
If not, this is also a somewhat relatively easy thing to modify if we're not. The outlet's great. It's a big pyramid. Comes off of it.
Yeah.
If there's an issue, it's this guy. Not the other side.
Yeah. So like you like scab on a piece like this.
I thought about doing that. I thought about actually creating like a channel like this because I can do that.
Yeah, you did this pretty good. Open
Like
this up.
taking a 90-degree bend or something like that and filleting it in there. So
Cool.
should bring him over to Mike's car.
Oh. Nah. We'll save that for another video. I can tell you right now they're not right. Because it's crankshaft position sensor that you want. And you only use factory with a Subaru. You only use factory sensors with a Subaru. You don't use aftermarket sensors. Only factory. There is no better offering than what Subaru offers. There's nothing else. Not a cam sensor, not a crank sensor, not a knock sensor, not an O2 sensor, not even a clutch, really. Like the stuff the Subaru, not a coil pack. Nothing beats what Subaru uses for sensors. So, yeah, don't save your time because it ain't it. And it's the crankshaft you want, not the camshaft, the crankshaft. And there's only one Subaru crankshaft position sensor for fucking 2 decades, I think. So, yeah. Factory crank position sensor. Nothing else. All right, guys. Well, I beat that dead horse. I dug a hole. I threw it in a pit. I lit it on fire. I threw dirt on top of it. I dug it back up again. I kicked it around some more. I tried to feed it hay, but it was already dead. And I put it back in the ground again. And I think I showed you guys that they're going to make what they make. You can do gigantic changes, and they're going to make what they make. That's what it boils down to. So, I mean, you could fuck it up. I could pull 10 degrees of timing out of it, and obviously power's going to drop like a rock. You know, and that's why I specified close to the knock threshold, they're going to make the same power. And, you know, about the right AFR, we're there. This is closed loop control anyways. It's not like an open loop system like the EJ, where if you screw the MAF cal and the open cal, then it runs way rich, you lose power. This is a closed loop car. It's running the AFR that you tell it to run. Like, it's just going to do what it does. And on this dyno, that's what it is. And that's with me doing everything I can to make the dyno read higher even. I changed the roller position, put the temp sensor in a warm place, right? I set it up to try and get it to show some change. And it's nothing. So the point is that a lot of those internet guys are just full of shit. Show me the airflow. That's what it boils down to. Show me the airflow. All right, guys. Have a good one. I don't think I'll be streaming again until I get back from vacation, which is in a while. Unless something cool happens between now and then, I decide to pop in some videos. But I will post up probably some small videos of the walk around of the air-water intercooler system that Lane was building. That's what he was showing. That was part of the end tank to air-water intercooler that he's doing for a car and a few things like that. So otherwise, have yourselves a good weekend. I know tomorrow's Friday. Hopefully you have tomorrow off like my wife does. She's lucky. She has Fridays off. Can I shoot a car tomorrow? I think I do shoot a car tomorrow. Let me double check. Nope. No car tomorrow. Sweet. I got it off too. Yeah. Airwater's the bomb. It's a big sucker too, Mark. In fact, oh, you're not in my Discord. I'll just text it to you. I'll text it to you. Anyways, guys, thanks again. Have a good weekend. Thanks for stopping by.